I wanted to share with you some tips to help make warriors a little bit more pleasing to practice. They're really strong postures, and when we're holding them in a way that makes us struggle more, it's really not very good for our practice and good for our minds. So this is just a video to help you find modifications that suit your body, and hopefully there'll be something in that will, make warriors a posture you actually enjoy rather than dread. So let's go for warrior 2 first. So you can join along and try out these mods as we go, or you can just watch this class and then put it into practice in the next yoga class you do. I don't mind. So I'll just come into warrior 2 so you can see, and you can join me if you wish. So right leg forward, left leg back, and bending into your right knee. So what sometimes happens is that we lean the body over that front leg, so you're actually leaning with this left arm back, trying to keep your shoulders over the hips. So here, if you're really struggling, you can go shorter with your stance. You can have a warrior 2 that looks more like this. It's fine. It's still warrior 2. Okay, just because it doesn't look like a textbook doesn't mean you're not doing yoga. Okay. The other thing you can do is allow your natural knee alignment to happen. So this will be something you can kind of get to know about your body. But for example, if you were struggling with your knees here and being able to bring this inner knee forward and out, so this kind of thing, if that was really difficult and your knee actually wanted to always go in and your hip to stick out, that's okay. You can allow your natural knee alignment here, but what you have to make sure you do, so your knee joint doesn't take it, is press into your feet to use your thigh muscles. So it's not the end of the world if your big toe is actually on the outside of your right knee, not on the inside as you're commonly taught. This is okay. Just press your feet down, keep the legs strong. If you can, you want to open this knee out and have the big toe on the inside of the knee, but maybe that doesn't feel good. Okay, so just you can allow this natural knee alignment to happen as long as you press the feet down and use your legs. And you can check your knees, and if you're slightly out with the knees, then maybe the knee goes really out, and then we have to draw it in slightly. Maybe if we're the other way, where the knees go in, then we have that slight knee moving into the center of the mat. But we can press the feet down and still be fine here. Your knee is able to move this way. It's not going to break, but what we want to do is stabilize the muscles around it. So that's one thing you can do. If your knees are fine and you really want to learn to bring this outer hip back and the inner knee forward into your warrior 2, then, and especially it becomes difficult when we bring this left hip back. So you can see if I am here, if I bring my left hip back, I have this turning in of the knee. So you can find a balance. You can bring the hip back out and allow this left hip to drop slightly forward. Or you can press your left leg back and you can allow the knee to drop in as long as you're pressing into the feet. So you just play about with that. The other thing you can do is to step your feet wider apart on the sides of the mat, the long sides of the mat. So for example, I could bring my left foot forward, my right foot to the right side of the mat. And then coming into my warrior 2, feels a lot better for the hips. I can bring my right hip back, I can bring my left hip back, and I can really feel that spreading action now. So it's okay not to have the legs in the alignment where you have your heel in line with the arch of the back foot. It's okay to go on 2 different train tracks, so to speak. So that's something you can play about with in warrior 2. Warrior 1, I'll go with the left leg forward just to stretch the hips a different way. You can let so this is warrior 1, right? So we bring the hips down, So you have the same thing with the front knee. If it wants to go in, it's fine, just press the feet down. If you can, turn it out and you can see the big toe, great. Doesn't mean you're a better yogi, just means you have different bones. Okay, so this is your warrior one. So this is really difficult, yeah, really hard for the hips. So we're trying to bring the sit bone down towards the left heel and press this right leg back. Of course, if you can't get your foot down, you lift the heel. Well, this might give your hips more access and you might be able to really start to open the right hip. Yeah, so this is good too as well. And you don't have to have the foot down. But just be mindful of the knee. Press the feet down, doesn't matter what the knee is doing, as long as you're using the thigh muscles and you're pressing the feet down to stabilize around the knee. Okay, so if it drops slightly in, fine. If it rolls slightly out, fine. Okay, warrior one, again, you can have different train tracks for the feet. Yeah, take your feet wider. So can you see I'm like right on the right edge of the mat there, and I can even go further with the left foot. Well, this feels good. Feels like I'm getting a real hip opener there. So that's also something you can do in warrior one. The hardest warrior, warrior three. So arms forward can cause a lot of pinching in the lower back if we don't use the core properly. So I always advise to keep the hands on the hips or keep the arms back before we can really get used to how this posture feels and we can hold it. Okay, so we'll do it with the hands on the hips. We're on the left leg. Make your right leg active, so press out through the right heel and start to fold forward. At this point, if you feel a real strong pull in the left outer hip, that's fine. But if it's too much, yeah, then you can bend your left knee. Yeah, bending the left knee might also allow you to bring your right hip slightly down towards the floor. Yeah, whereas straightening the knee might turn the hip out. Okay? So you can play about with bending the knee, straightening the standing knee. Don't be too concerned if the back hip lifts slightly. Yeah, don't be concerned if you can't get your toes to face the floor. You know, that your hip wants to turn. That's just your hip. Okay, it's just doing what it can do, what feels better for your body, and that's fine. You know, if you can try and level the hips. Yeah. So here I find this really hard because my left hip's always slightly higher because there's a tightness in my right hip. So bending my right knee will help me to level the pelvis, but it's still tricky. So, you know, feel free to bend and straighten the standing leg in warrior three. Lots of modifications for you to work with, lots of options available. Try and play about with a few, see how it feels. You know, practice, even if you've been practicing for years and years and years and you've always held it in the same alignment, how about just going with 2 train tracks in warrior 2 and warrior 1? How about bending your standing leg in warrior 3 and see how that feels? Just have a little play, find what works for you, and hopefully, you know, you'll find joy in the warrior sequences and not that kind of like, oh, this is really hard, I can't hold this for much longer. Yeah? And remember that in warrior 1 and warrior 2, your stance doesn't have to be wide. We're still doing warrior 1. Just because we're not really far away and the heel's down, you know, if our heel's down or far away, warrior 1. If we're here, warrior 1. If we're here, warrior 1. Okay, so don't be caught up on those textbook images, play about and see what you can do with your warriors next time you're on your mat.